if you don't use Zoom often, you're going to get a big thing up on your screen that says, this call is being recorded. Just hit okay so that you can still see me. But welcome, you guys. I'm so excited to do this program. I'll do a little introduction of myself so that you know who I am. And there's a lot about, you all have a different coach. And so we're all kind of running this together to support each other because we're all doing this together for the first time. So really the only thing that I have ahead of you is that I've been kind of following Beachbody programs for 8.5 years, but my name is Amanda Byrne. I have been a coach for 8.5 years with Beachbody. And so I have been here since before things were all streamed online. I've been here before 21-day fix and the portion control containers even came out. The first program I ever did was T25. I said no to Shakeology at first, and then I said yes, and I've drank it every day since. And it really, I think, has helped me to stay healthy and well, and not, I used to struggle with like getting sinus infections and throat infections like multiple times a year, just I think from being not fully nourished and not feeling my body very well. And so I really believe that Shakeology fills in the gaps. Throughout the years, I've just gotten more and more passionate, mostly about nutrition. I love movement. I think fitness is great, but your results and your health and all of that comes from the food that you put in your body. And so I've gotten a nutrition certification, and I've dove into both of our nutrition programs through Beachbody, plus outside of Beachbody, just like so much knowledge, just to be able to pass that forward to others. The whole reason, I'll just give you a little bit backstory. My sister was diagnosed with cancer about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe, at 27. And it was a huge wake up call for me to get my life in order and start to get my health in order. And at that point, I was over 200 pounds, super depressed, and it just in a really bad place in my life. And I think it was God's little nudge for me to wake up and that I need to start taking care of myself. And then 2 years after that, my best friend was diagnosed with cancer. I will say my sister is in remission, thank the Lord. But unfortunately, my best friend did not make it. And so I just truly believe that we can be proactive about our health. That's not to say that like none of us are ever going to be, completely cured of disease. But I think being proactive can definitely help us in the long run. And I believe that this gut protocol program is one of the ways to help us be proactive with our health and our gut. If you've watched the videos, which hopefully you have, our gut really controls everything. Like, it's crazy to me. I couldn't believe the statistic that 95% of your serotonin is made in your gut. That's your happy hormone. So if you struggle with depression or anxiety in any way, it likely is leading back to the food that you're putting into your body and how it's being used in your body, right? And so I really believe that this program is going to help all of us uncover some things. This is not to say that it's going to cure us. We cannot say that this program is going to cure you of anything that's going on in your gut, but it's going to help you uncover some things that might be triggering the symptoms that you may be struggling with. The symptoms that I'm struggling with are skin irritations, because I even recently got something on my wrist from my Apple Watch. I just get like random skin things. It's mostly on my face, but I have a new one from my Apple Watch on my wrist. And bloat. I have unexplained weight gain over the last few months since I got married. I mean, it could just be happiness and love, but I'd like it to go away. And so just, anxiety and just struggling with some things that we shouldn't have to struggle with on a daily basis, right? And we should be able to wake up and feel better and sleep really well. I know a lot of people started this program last week. like outside of our little group here, and are just already just sleeping better and just feeling better and seeing physical results and going to the bathroom better and doing all of these things. And so I really pray that over all of us, that we can really feel that after 1 week as well. And I know that we can if we follow the program with integrity. Now, with that being said, for some of us, I think that this program can be very overwhelming. There's a lot. I know Jess talked about this on her stories today about the 30 different plants. And I'm going to tell you to not really worry about the 30 different plants if you're just trying to now get in 6 veggies a day. Like, I want you to at least get your containers in and focus on following that and getting your veggies in and getting your plant-based protein and your animal-based protein in and getting your different kinds of yellows in. Like, I want you to get the food in, and then we'll worry about getting the 30 different plants. Okay. Like, don't let that little piece of this program make you be like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I want you to, let's shoot for 10 this first week. And then maybe the second week we shoot for 20. And then the third week we shoot for 30. And the fourth week we shoot for 30 again. But like, ease yourself in, because I feel like that's one piece that even Ryan and I, and you guys, I've been gluten-free and dairy-free and have followed Portion Fix for many, many years. And even for us, it was like 30 different plants. Now, I will say that it doesn't just include veggies. Plants includes fruits, plants includes beans, tofu, seeds, nuts. Those are all plants. They're things that grow from the ground. And so it's not just like 30 different veggies, because that's a lot, and that seems crazy. That would be a lot. But when you include fruits, when you include fruits in there, and you include beans or tofu or quinoa and nuts and chia seeds, then it's like, oh, that might be a little bit more doable. Okay, so just know that. A few things that we're going to go over today is I just want us to just be excited and not overwhelmed. And so I want to try and take some of that away. So that was a little bit of that there. And then I wanted to share with you the app, how to track, where we're going to be holding each other accountable and supporting each other, because it's outside of Facebook. So up until this point, we've been in our Facebook group, the Healthy Gut, Healthy You Facebook group, where we've been prepping, sharing videos, sharing images for you to save, all of those things. But we are going to move to the BOD app, which hopefully you all have. If you don't, you'll want to download the Beachbody on demand app. But I want to go over that, and I'll share it up here on this screen so you can see it and everything that you can do within that app. But I thought it might be helpful to just run through the rules. I hate that word, but I do also believe that having a plan and having some guidelines is helpful. We all think and want to just be like spontaneous, fly by the seat of our pants all the time. But then many times we end up feeling like crap because we're not fueling our body really well then. And we're just like flying by the seat of our pants. And then like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten a veggie in 3 days. And so I think that these rules or guidelines or boundaries, let's just call them, rather than restrictions, they're boundaries for 4 weeks to help you uncover some things that are going on. So let's just review some of those. If you didn't download, I made a few images for you to just like keep on your phone of like the foods to avoid, the foods to add. You can pull those up, but basically we're going to avoid, for the 4 weeks, we're going to remove gluten, dairy, soy, besides tofu and tempeh, but anything like processed soy, like burgers and such like that, no soy sauce, stuff like that. added sugar, we're going to limit to 10 grams. So it's just important to pay attention to the added sugar in the ingredient, or not in the ingredients, in the nutrition label. Whereas I'm an ingredient snob, and I won't touch anything that has sugar. I shouldn't say that. I will, but I really try not to touch anything that has sugar in the ingredients. And typically that is because it's added sugar. But we really want to pay attention to the added sugar in in any products that you're consuming. So like Shakeology, I know, has 5 grams of added sugar. Energize, if you're obsessed with it like I am, and many of the others on here, has 2 grams. I was a 2 scoop a day. I've now reduced to 1 scoop a day so that I have a little buffer for maybe some other things, just in case. Most of the other things that I eat aren't from a package. So I think sometimes I could have 2 scoops and still be under my 10, but just to be safe, I do 1 scoop of Energize with Power Greens, and it's delicious. And you may think I'm crazy, but it's our greens powder, and I mix it with my Energize, and it is so delicious. I love it. All of you guys are shaking your head, but it's delicious. And it gives me a half of a serving of veggies. So shake your head, but I'm going to use it as I have a serving of veggies. So you go eat your veggies then. What else are we avoiding? Gluten, dairy, soy, added sugar, alcohol. That's the one I almost forgot. Alcohol. You can do it. Where's your glass of wine, Jess? Did you already have it? You had a couple? So avoiding alcohol. You can do it. You guys, I did it for 75 days. I did 75 hard last year, and I've also done it during 80-day obsession. So I did it for 80 days. You are going to feel amazing. You're going to sleep better than ever. You're going to not wake up feeling like crap and sluggish and brain fog. And even if like I have like 1 glass of wine or 2 margaritas, I wake up today. We went out last night for our anniversary. And I had a margarita and a ranch water. And I guess earlier in the day, I had had like a glass of champagne. And I woke up this morning just feeling like, ugh. And I'm like, oh, why? I just want to be able to enjoy a stinking couple of drinks and not wake up feeling like this. But anyway, so you're going to want to avoid that. We're going to want to add in some fermented foods. You're probably adding in more veggies than you've ever ate in your life. 6 veggies a day is doable. I will just tell you that. And I will tell you how I get my 6 veggies in. The first thing every morning I have my Shakeology with 2 greens of spinach in it. And then I have my my full scoop of Power Greens, which is another half of veggies. So like by 7 a.m., I've got 2.5 veggies in. So then I can have like 2 veggies at lunch and 2 veggies at dinner, or a veggie and a half, I guess, because I had that half a veggie with Power Greens. But I would highly suggest putting some veggies into your Shakeology to get those in. What else? What am I missing? Jess, or anybody, as far as like what we're adding in or taking out? Anything? No, I know. I think. All right, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys the app in case you've never like dove into using the Beachbody On Demand app for more than just like pulling up your workout. It can do so much more than just log your workout. It will actually automatically log your workout for you. You might want to pull this up with me because I'll show you how to change your containers so that you can track your containers, which I find very helpful, because by the end of the day, I'm like, wait, what did I eat? What containers do I have left? Did I get everything in? And so when you pull up the app, it should look something like this. You have quick access to your gut protocol program. So you can watch the videos again, you can pull up the resources. They've added more recipes. If you guys didn't know that, go in and under recipe videos, they added like a brown rice pudding. They added, I think, like, I know that was one of the new ones. I don't know what other new ones are there. There are teriyaki carrots, everything bagel salmon. Oh, I'll be making that. I love everything bagel. I want to try the fermented blueberries. If you haven't done a lot of fermented foods, if you don't like sauerkraut or kimchi, which I think a lot of people are not huge fans of, you could do kombucha, which is, again, I think it's delicious, but I also love Power Greens in my Energize. So I don't know. You've gotta test out your kombuchas. Some definitely, I think, taste more fermented than others, but at the same time, you need to pay attention to the added sugar. Some of them are going to have sugar. They're going to have sugars in them, but that's not what we're paying attention to. We're paying attention to the added sugar, which typically is the fake stuff, the yucky stuff that we don't want. But I think I want to try these fermented blueberries as a fermented option as well. I think those would be delicious. But then they also had more recipes under resources, but they moved them to under meal plans. And then right here where it says recipes, click that plus sign. And there's a lot more here. Okay. Or those might be some of the same. And then under resources is where you have your food list. So if you need to be like, okay, where's water chestnuts, which is actually, guys, a yellow. We were looking at that today. Like, what? We don't like just eat water chestnuts on the normal, but it actually counts as a yellow. Or like plantains. For some reason, we've been eating a lot of plantains lately. We had Puerto Rican food from a food truck and they served plantains. Last night we had plantains. They're so yummy. But you can easily pull up your lists, which I think is just super nice to just have that quick and accessible to you. There are this measurement tracker. Guys, take the pictures. Please take the pictures. You're not going to want to, but in a week from now, and 2 weeks from now, and 3 weeks from now, and 4 weeks from now, you're going to wish you had the pictures. You take your picture however you want. You don't have to get down to a bikini. You don't have to get down to your bra and underwear. Take the picture however you feel comfortable. That where you take another picture, you're going to see the difference. You're gonna be happy that you took them. They're not comfortable for anyone to take, especially if you're at a point in your life where you may be self-conscious about your body. Take the picture anyway. Please, please, please take the measurements. Choose to weigh yourself if you want. That's what I'm going to say about that. I think you're going to see the number go down over the 4 weeks, but if that's going to be a large trigger for you, then maybe just take your measurements, because I know the scale can be very tough for some people. So you just choose what makes you feel more comfortable on this little challenge that we're doing. Okay. But we also have, where is it? I wanted to show you the daily journal pages, because I'll show you, you can print these out. Some people are very much, Jen told me today, she loves that she can print it out and write it out and track it on here or on paper. So you can print these out and track your containers, but I'm also going to have to show you how to track your containers here in the app as well. But this tracker has a little bit more for you as well, like tracking your sleep and your mood and your energy, because this isn't just about the food. I mean, the food is what's going to make us feel better, but we also need to pay attention to, even though we're eating all whole foods, like real food, right? We're avoiding processed foods. Some of those things might still trigger you. Like for me, I shouldn't say I can't have it. Cauliflower triggers me very much so. I can have it sometimes, but I was having it like cauliflower rice for lunch, putting cauliflower rice in my shake, like a couple times a day. And my body was like, gassy, bloated. It's a very broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts are very gassy vegetables. I love them all. I just have to make sure that I don't eat them every day and just be careful. So the tracker will help you to track that and pay attention to how you are feeling with the certain foods that you're eating. Okay. So you can track your water on here. You can track your added sugar on here. If you have your supplements, I know some people weren't able to get them because we sold out in less than 24 hours, which is just, they had enough for 6 weeks is what they projected, and they sold out in less than 24 hours. But then I know some of you purchased like alternative options, I should say, from like Amazon or your health food store. So just make sure you're taking those. I will say I've been testing out the program and I started taking my supplements and I forget them. So maybe you need to set a timer. I'm really good to take them in the morning before breakfast because I just wake up and I remember to take them. But then it's like before the 20 minutes before lunch, I'm ready. I'm about to eat lunch. I'm like, oh shoot, I need to take my Revital or my Optimize. And I will say I've just taken them and eaten my lunch. If my lunch is heated up, I'm taking them and eating. I'm not waiting 20 minutes. I think it's still going to do its job in my body. But I'm going to get better at taking them earlier and remember to do that. And then you can track your exercise. You can track your 30 plants a week or your 10 this week, if that is where you need to start. And it has an evening reflection. So even if you're tracking in the app, I would highly recommend printing these out as well, and going through them. Or if you're like highly tech, and I am, and I don't even know how to do this. So if you're really cool and you do, maybe you can teach us how to like use this and track it, like write on it on my phone. I don't know. I think there's a way to do that, but I don't know how. And I'm very techie. So there is a stool chart. Pay attention to your stool. I know we're talking about poop, but it's important, okay? Tips for managing your stress. I highly recommend like getting outside and getting sunshine. Hopefully we all live in places where sun is becoming more of a normal thing. I know many of you are in the Midwest, so I say that with lots of grace for you because I lived there my entire life and I know that it is tough. And now I live in Denver and we have sun almost every day. Today we didn't. And it really, I feel different when I don't have sun. But hopefully I think we are all moving towards the season where sun is more prominent wherever you live. So if you can get outside, even for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and even better, get out at sunrise and sunset, you will sleep better, you will feel better, and you will want to go to bed earlier. Like it's just being in sync with the rhythm of the circadian rhythm. So the sunrise and sunset affects so much in our bodies. So that is a goal of mine, is to even just go sit outside, stand outside for 5-10 minutes, sit outside. Now that it's getting warmer and sunnier and all of the things here, but de-stress, slow down. I think if anything that if we can try and do that, over this next 28 days, it's going to change so much. We even talked about that at church today. It's just like we don't like quiet. We live in a society that we don't like quiet. We don't want to slow down. We feel guilty when we slow down, but really when you slow down and you take time for the things that are going to make you feel better and feel connected to God, you are going to make so much more progress in your life. And it's just amazing. So we're going to give you another tracker, a really cool one. I'll post it in the BOD group. this evening, but I've got a couple trackers that you can use to share on your stories and let people know. If you are a coach with us, this is great to share your journey. Even if you're not a coach, share your journey. People don't want to see like, oh, you're doing this gut health thing and you show them that you're doing it day 1 and then you show them day 28. People want to watch the story. They want to see it happening. They want to see the struggle. Because guys, there you're going to have days that it's hard. You're going to have days that you get to the end of the day and you're like, oh my God, I have 4 veggies left. What the heck am I going to do? Right? Like when Ryan and I did 75 hard, we had a couple days where we were just like, okay, we can do this. We're just going to have like 2 dinners and we're going to just try and make this work. But I think just sharing the entire journey is super important. So that's the program. And then let's go to tracking, because you can do a lot more than just track your workout on here. And we've got badges now, which is super fun. Have you guys gotten a badge yet? I got a badge for tracking 5 Shakeologies because I have not been good about tracking my Shakeology, even though I drink it every single day. But now I want to track it more and get a larger a badge that tells me like I drank 25 Shakeologies, right? Or I did 25 workouts. I think I got that one. I think I got a 25 workout because it automatically tracks your workout if you use BOD. So if you do a workout on BOD, the there it is, daily activity. The app automatically tracks your workout, but then you can actually go and add a photo. So add a sweaty selfie and share it with our group. So I can go choose a photo of us working out yesterday, and I can say, love our family workouts. And then I can say, include my photo, and I want to track it to my 2 BOD groups. And I say, update workout. And then when I jump into the group, you guys, I'll show it you guys. I show it to you in there. So you track your workout, you track your Shakeology. You can either take a picture of your Shakeology and share it with the group. I think it's super helpful for accountability to do so. And then if you did like a new recipe that you like don't usually do, you can share it with the group, or you can choose to just track it and not share it. Your coach can see what you're tracking, which is super cool and helpful for us as coaches to know where you might need help or support. And then you can track your containers. So you need to choose your meal plan first, so if yours says to be mindset, I think you go, yeah. So you're gonna go up to the little head on the top and go to meal tracking. No, I take that back. Oh, go to edit and then meal tracking. And you can choose plate it or containers. So for gut protocol, we want to be on containers to track. And then I've already done this. Why are you making me do it again? Sorry, guys. View. I shouldn't have messed with it because now it's making me do this and I could have already been through all of this. Okay, so you'll enter your portions. So hopefully you've calculated to know which plan you're in, A, B, C, D, E. You're probably in A, B, or C. I would guess most people are in A, B, or C. These are the container counts for A: 6 veggies, 2 fruits, 4 proteins. The only thing you can't track here specifically is your 2 animal and your 2 plant. So you just need to know that in your head or use the paper tracker to know that you're getting both of those in. And you can actually make notes in here as well, which I'll show you. 2 carbs. Again, remember you have your grain carbs and then your potatoes and all the other carbs. Healthy fats, 1, seeds 1, and those. All right. Okay, again. It's not letting, I'm gonna have to go back in and change it. It made me change that. Okay. So then, so like for meal 1 today, I had oatmeal. I haven't tracked yet today. Shakeology, fruit, 2.5 veggies, my spinach and my power greens, and chia seeds. So then you can see the containers that were used and you can see the containers that are left, which I just like because I need to know, like, what do I have left to eat today? And then for lunch, I had a veggie, actually I had 2 proteins and a carb and a fruit. I think that was it. So for dinner, basically I've left a protein, 2.5 veggies, a healthy fat, half of an orange, and 3 teaspoons. So that's kind of what I have left for the evening before I go to bed. But I think tracking is super helpful. You can also track any other nutritionals that you're using. Oops. So I had Energized today. You can track your water, you can track your weight, your measurements, and you can put your progress photos in here, and only you're gonna see those unless you said like share with my coach. Then otherwise only you'll see those. So you can keep everything just in one place, which is super helpful. So that's where you track. But I think a lot of people know this part, but they don't know that when you go under groups, you can go to Healthy Gut, Healthy You, and we're going to have posts in here and videos and helpful information. And this is where really the support and accountability comes in, and supporting everyone else that's doing this with you and asking questions and all of those things so that you're not feeling like you're doing this alone. But remember where I just tracked my workout? There it is. It's here, as well as other people who are sharing their grocery shopping and their workouts. There's Alicia. Hey, Alicia. And Angela might actually take a rest day. I think she actually did. But you can come in here and you can post just like in a Facebook group. Ask a question, post a photo, share a recipe. You can even go live, you can share a video. So there's a lot more than just the tracking that I think a lot of people just aren't aware of. And I know for many of us, we haven't been using bod groups because Facebook has been comfortable for many of us because we used it for so many years. And this is a newer option on our app. But I think it's nice to just have a private place for your health and fitness goals, right? For this community of not just us that are on this call, but there's like 100, there's a lot of us doing this program together. There's like 100 and something in that group. Not everybody is doing gut protocol, but a lot are. And so we have a lot of us who are in this group. If you haven't joined this group yet, I had put a link in the Facebook group, Healthy Gut, Healthy You, to this group. You just need to go to that group, request to join. I'll approve you and you'll be ready to go. You'll have to go through a couple steps like what's my goal, share a picture. There's a few little steps you have to do to like be entered into the group. So make sure that you open your app. So you've clicked the link to join the group, you requested to join, I then approved it. Make sure you go into the app, go to the group, and it's going to have you go through a couple steps to actually like enter the group. Any questions about the app? I know we have a bunch of chats up here, but so let me see. I'm going to go through some of these questions. Yes, this program has been a long time coming. It's like we've been focusing on health, but this is like we're focusing on health and not just the weight loss, which makes my health heart very, very happy. Why is tofu and tempeh still acceptable? Because it's soy. I think because it's not overly processed, and especially for like vegans and it's plant-based, it's a really good source of protein. and it's not overly processed like some other things are. And it's like just soy and not a bunch of other stuff. Oh, good, Jess. I'm glad. What ideas? Did I give some good ideas, Amy, for fermented foods? I mean, kombucha, try those fermented blueberries. We have sauerkraut and kimchi. We're going to add those to like Asian bowls. Or Ryan's like, I've only ever had sauerkraut with bratwurst. I'm like, well, then let's make some sausages. Or, there's recipes in Fixate. I know there's like a breakfast sausage recipe. Or like get creative with your fermented foods, and they're free.
Start eating salads again. It's really good to put sauerkraut and kimchi in salads. I don't know when that is, but that's an idea too.
That's a good point. We didn't mention that. This first week, if you didn't watch the first week video yet, this first week, no raw veggies. So everything needs to be cooked. All your veggies need to be cooked because it's a little easier on your gut to eat cooked veggies. And then you can pay attention week 2 to raw veggies and how your body responds to them. And maybe your body responds really well. I know salad for me is sometimes rough on my body in a good way. I end up being in the bathroom, but you just have to just be careful with it. So I think that's why no salads this first week, which can be, if you're a salads person, might be tough. I heard somebody take, I love the bag salads, the like kale one or the sunflower crunch is my personal favorite. I know Moira Casaba, she's one of our top coaches. She was cooking that kale salad. So she was like sauteing the kale and salad part. And I bet that would be really yummy. I bet that would be really good. So there's an option for you to just like, instead of, oh, I was going to have this kale salad, throw it in a saute pan. It's not going to take long to saute that up a little bit. And then your veggies are cooked. I'm obsessed with my air fryer. If you have one, I literally make everything in the air fryer, pretty much. All my veggies, like air fried. I'm just gonna give you a couple ideas. Air fried radishes. Try it. Never thought about it. Saw someone try it. I tried it. I thought it was delicious. I also ventured out to eggplant. I'm usually not an eggplant fan. Air fried eggplant is delicious. I like it. So couple things that I tried last week that I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And I did. So pen and paper. You took your pictures. Yes, the non-skill victories are awesome. Oh, the writing, you can do it on a tablet. That's what Ange is telling me. I have to have a fancy iPad and I can write on the tracker on my phone. But I can't do it on an iPad. I can't do it on my phone. Ooh, the Unstressed program. Yes, very good point. So we have a meditation program within Beachbody On Demand. So if you go to programs, let me just close this chat for a second so you can see. Gosh, where am I going to find it really quickly? I think it's under yoga. Is it? No. I can search, right? Unstressed. It is a 21-day little meditation program, and they're very short meditations. And if you're new to meditating, it's very helpful because it basically teaches you how to quiet your mind. And our entire sermon today was on meditation, so it's interesting for me. It is not to clear your mind, but to fill your mind. And so I think that these are very helpful to slow down and calm yourself, whether you do it when you wake up or you do it in the middle of your day or you do it before you go to bed. That could be a very helpful thing. Thanks for that suggestion, Jess. Oh, you guys can't. All right, I know a lot of days I don't meet what my total portions are called for based off the calculations. Does that affect things, not getting all your containers met? You want to really try to get all your containers met. I mean, don't stress about it, but plan ahead and really, really try to get those in, because that having the balanced macronutrients, so having all of your protein and your carbs and your healthy fats and your fiber are very important for just having a nourished body, and it's going to help your gut and overall. And so that's why our containers are the way they are, is because then we're having balance in our protein, our carbs, our healthy fat, our fiber. And so that's why they are designed that way. So it's really important to try and get all of them in. Don't kill yourself if you don't get a veggie in, one day, but really try to plan ahead in order to get those in. I know it's harder when you work outside of the home and you're going, like I normally am home, thankfully, and I worked hard to do that, but the next 2 days, of course, day 1 and day 2, I won't be home at really not much at all for the first 2 days. And so I've had to think ahead, like, okay, I need to make my lunch and make my snacks and bring everything with me, and make sure that I'm going to bed early tonight and tomorrow night so that I can get up early and do my workout before I have to leave for the day. And just really having that proactive, think ahead mindset is going to be very beneficial for you. And I know that comes naturally to some, like myself, and it doesn't come so naturally to some others. So if that is not your strength, then practice and tell yourself that it is your strength and that you can plan, and that planning is going to make you feel better. And having a plan actually doesn't make you feel restricted, but actually makes you feel better, and all of the things like I said in the beginning. Yeah, I haven't eaten dinner yet. We're having a late dinner as well tonight. And so that is okay. But Jen started today. So Jen commented here that she had her first meal so late, and she started today just because of her work schedule. She did workout 1 today, started tracking, doing all the things today, and she's surprised at how full she feels. I think a lot of people, that's the biggest thing, is they're like, this is so much food. Like, I've never eaten as much food. So it is a lot of food to get in, but once you get used to it, I don't feel like it's a lot of food. I feel like it's perfect balance, and I'm not craving things and all of that because I'm feeling really well nourished. A tip I gave Jen, and I'll give to you guys for what's the word I want to use? Balancing your containers, is at breakfast. If you've ever done 2B mindset, this is kind of where this mindset came from. At breakfast and lunch, make sure you have a protein, a carb, and a veggie or 2 at breakfast and lunch. So if you're on plan A, you get 2 carbs. You're going to have your carbs at breakfast and lunch, because carbs are for energy. You need energy at the beginning of your day. You don't need energy at night. That's not to say you can't have a carb at night. That's not what I'm saying. But just if you get in that mindset, and then your body's going to feel nourished, you're not going to feel cravings and things at the end of the day, later in the day, which is usually when our cravings hit is that 3 o'clock point, right? It's because we're not nourishing our body earlier in the day. So if you have your protein, your carb, and your veggies at breakfast and lunch, and then at dinner, you have protein and veggies, that's a lot of your containers already taken up. And then you just have to fill in the rest of the things in for a snack, or maybe you have 2 proteins at lunch or 2 proteins at dinner, or wherever. You just have to kind of fill them in. But if you get in the mindset of putting a protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, putting veggies at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, putting a carb at breakfast and lunch, then all you have left to fill in is your fruits. Like, oh, do you want that as a dessert? Do you want that with breakfast? Do you want that as a snack? And you have another protein to fit in, which you guys go check out my quinoa little dessert. Quinoa is a protein on this program, which is great. and my quinoa dessert. Ryan loves it. It is our new favorite thing. And I actually had it without the yogurt in it. And I just did the quinoa with maple syrup and almond butter and fruit. And even that was just as yummy without the yogurt in there, because I had yogurt in my overnight oats, but I still wanted my quinoa dessert because I still had a protein left. So go check out my quinoa dessert. I think you're going to like it. Even Ryan likes it. So then you just have to fit in like, okay, where's my blue gonna go? Where's my orange gonna go? Where's my teaspoons gonna go? So I think just kind of balancing your containers that way, then you're sure to get everything in. What else? Any other questions? I said I wasn't gonna keep you too long. So if you're used to 2B mindset, you can essentially still follow the plate it, just add in more veggies and containers when needed. What I do is I use that mindset, that principle of the plated method, but I use my containers. So I use the red to measure my protein. I use the yellow to measure my carb. I use the green to measure my veggies. But the mindset of having protein, carb, and veggie at breakfast and lunch, and protein and veggie and dinner is the principle that I like always like keep in my mind, and that kind of guideline. But I use my containers to measure rather than just like eyeballing or measuring the 50, 25, 25 or the 50, 50, you know? And I guess the veggies at breakfast is different than 2B mindset. So I would so it's like just keeping that mindset, but using your containers, I guess, is how I would explain it. And that's kind of how I've done it for the past couple years, really. The gut protocol is just for me adding in more plant-based protein, which is, I think, been really beneficial so far. And I've just been testing it out. I haven't been 100% with it yet. This week will be the first week that I'm just like gung-ho, 100%. Let's go. We're all going to do this together. But I think, yeah, kind of following that mindset. Any other questions? That's a good question, Megan. Anything else? Did I answer everything? I think I did. Sweet. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. All right, I think that is everything. Does any other coaches have anything to say, or anybody have anything to say before we jump off? No? All right. Well, I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Hopefully this was helpful just to like get you in the right mindset. Go to bed early tonight. Hi, Blake. Go to bed early tonight. Get a good night's sleep. Wake up. Do your workout. We didn't talk about the workouts, but I started them. I'm going to start over tomorrow, but I did week 1 and 2, and I love them. Just the low, or not, I keep saying low impact. It is no impact. Even the cardio, my heart rate was up. Like I was kind of blown away. But I really like the eccentric movement and just the moves. There's a couple new moves and things, and a lot of it'll say like it's a pull day or a push day. That's the emphasis of the muscles that you're using. But basically, almost every day is a total body day. She's always kind of working your booty and your legs. If you've ever done an autumn program, you already know that. So it's really, really good. So 4 days a week of workouts, add a 5th day of movement. That could be a walk, that could be another bod workout, it could be a body workout, and then 2 days of rest. And those rest days could be like a stretch day. If you're like someone like me who's like, it's just my routine to like do a workout every day, which that's not everybody, that's just some of us. There's a ton of mobility workouts in bod that are so good for just like stretching, because you are going to be sore. But hopefully this was helpful, and you guys are going to rock your first week. Don't be afraid to jump in the app, ask a question, be vulnerable, say that you're struggling, let your coach help you, let all of us help you. Don't be afraid to say like, I messed up, like I had 2 yellow A's, that's the one thing that I did when I first started testing it, was like, oh shoot, I had 2 yellows, but they both were from the A category. Don't beat yourself up. It was a mistake. You don't need to start over. It is what it is. You still are within the program guidelines, I would say. But tomorrow, try and do a yellow A and a yellow B, right? So those are my tips. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the app. Oh, and we're gonna try and do this every Sunday night. And maybe next week we'll do, ooh, Jen had a really good idea, but one of the weeks we might do a freeze, like we might all make a freezer meal together, or like meal plan together. Everyone be in our kitchen, like meal prepping something together, or making a freezer bag, and doing kind of something together, and just coming together each Sunday evening and just answering questions, hyping each other up. I promise not to keep you an hour every week, but I think just coming together and having this community is just so helpful, so helpful, to staying accountable to why you decided to do this in the first place. Keep that in your mind when things are hard and you're like, I don't want to do this, I just want the ice cream that's in my fridge. Remember why you're doing this, and it's for your health, and it's to uncover triggers and things that are causing uncomfortable symptoms in your body, and you want to feel better. And this is going to help you begin that journey. So I hope you guys have a good evening, and I will see you later. Bye.